Hello, welcome to the Citrus Garden. If you're new here, my name is Christina. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. It's great to see you. This is a reading for Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, or if you have significant Gemini placements, there may be a message in here for you. So Gemini, to get started with your reading, I'm actually getting a very strong Sagittarius energy coming through for you today for some reason. Which, of course, Sagittarius is Gemini's opposite. So maybe you have Sagittarius somewhere in your chart, or if it's not that, it could be that you're it could be some form of shadow work as well, which is kind of interesting. The way that that's coming through, because Gemini and Sagittarius are opposites, how it's sort of feeling is that your shadow energy may appear to be a bit more Sagittarius in nature, which is kind of how it's coming through. I'm getting very strongly the crystal aquamarine that's coming through for you, which is a stone of courage, and helps with sort of balancing water energies. So you may be doing sort of like emotional shadow work is how it's coming through. But the Sagittarius energy is coming through as being like fire, and specifically heat is how it's feeling. Because I was getting this energy of like tempered glass, where tempered glass is created using like very high heat. And because of that heat process, it makes the glass stronger and less likely to break. It's more resistant in that way. And another thing about tempered glass is that if it does break, it sort of breaks into little pieces that are not sharp as like a regular glass, like sharp pieces. So it kind of, I don't know, there's benefits and disadvantages, of course, with anything, but it's coming through as being like tempered glass, Gemini. Maybe you're going through a process where there's like high heat or a lot of pressure or something like that. That's sort of coming through as being like creating tempered glass. So it could be something like that. And I feel like maybe it has something to do with your shadow, or like emotional shadow work is how it's coming through. Okay, I was going to use the archetypes, but I'm actually feeling called to use this tarot deck. It's a combination of two, the After Tarot and the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot. I haven't used a tarot deck in a reading in a while. I've just been drawn to oracle readings recently, but today it is coming through for you, Gemini. I see this deck because it does have two decks in it. I see this deck as a very Gemini energy deck, just because there's two cards in it. Interesting. Seven of Swords and Queen of Wands. Very interesting. Huh. Eight of Pentacles. King of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. What is the Seven of Swords? Ten of Pentacles. Hierophant at the bottom of the deck. So King of Pentacles and then Hierophant, which are both Taurus energies, which is interesting. I'm not seeing the Seven of Swords as you, just because it's from a different deck today. But it could be an aspect of yourself, especially because there's this energy of shadow work that's happening, that's coming through. But I feel like because of that strong Sagittarius energy that I was getting, I feel like you're actually in this Queen of Wands position at the center, Gemini. There's something about your creativity, perhaps, or or your fire or your energy that you are protecting or maintaining or tending to, is how it's feeling to me. This is a card about like someone who's very good at like manifesting, is actually how it's coming through. Like any ideas that you might have sort of come into being, you can create things. It's like using the law of attraction to your benefit, that kind of energy. It is also a very attractive energy as well, just in general, but I see this as being like creating life. That's how I see this Queen of Wands. Like your ideas become real. You can manifest things in the physical, especially with this Eight of Pentacles card coming out. But it's kind of coming through as being like, but there's something here, Seven of Swords, coming out with the Ten of Pentacles, where I feel like there's this energy of you have your eye on something. Out of all the Seven of Swords, this one comes in with the most energy of like a thief. I'm just going to leave it like that. Okay, so if it's not that, it's like if it's not that, because I am kind of getting this energy, Gemini, of like you're trying to protect your assets or something like that. You're trying to protect your creations. With the Eight of Pentacles, you're trying to protect your work. Because I'm seeing this as being sort of like protecting your work from someone in a Seven of Swords energy. I don't know who that is, if you know this person or not. It's kind of coming through as being like I just heard repeat offender. Like, you know how like a store owner, for example, people who like catch people like shoplifting, they like print out a picture and put it on the wall, like this person is a shoplifter, they're not permitted back in the store, like that kind of thing. It's kind of coming through like that. Or it's just someone that you don't trust. If it's not that example exactly, like it could be somebody at work or something like that, where it's like you don't trust this person. You don't trust this person to do the right thing. You don't trust them around, like, I don't know, your ideas or your actual work, perhaps actual resources, you might not trust them around. It's coming out with the Ten of Pentacles. This card kind of comes through with this energy of like a market or something, like a farmer's market or like some sort of like community kind of focus. And you sort of pack up your stall at the end of the farmer's market, right? You pack everything up. That's how it's coming through. Or like a garage sale or something. I feel like you're trying to not let somebody's behavior affect your work in some way. Like, so it could be somebody around you, I don't know, somebody in your community, like, trying not to let that, because you know who this person is, it feels like, or at least by sight, by name, like, or energy or something like that, you can identify this person. But it's like, maybe you can't do anything about it. Or maybe you've tried and like, it's not really something that you want to concern yourself with, is how it's coming through. It's not something you want to concern yourself with. So it's kind of feeling like trying to protect your assets or protect your work from that energy, because it's kind of like you can't control what other people do, right? Of course. Whatever this energy is kind of coming through is like they're going to keep doing that. They're going to keep doing that until they learn, is just how it's feeling to me. I don't feel like it's your job to teach them. Maybe there is an energy where it's like really, it's like you can't. This comes through as being a little bit difficult if it's like somebody that you care about, but they're doing something that's sort of self-sabotaging, is kind of how it's feeling to me. Maybe it's somebody that you care about, but it's like it's a repeat offender. They keep doing the same behaviors that are not benefiting them, and perhaps are also starting now to have an impact on you. In some way, you can't change them. I feel like there's this trying to get you to focus on what is within your control. Perhaps there is this energy here, though, for you, Gemini, of like protecting your assets, your resources. The Seven of Swords is such a complicated energy to me, because sometimes it comes through as being like, sometimes people just feel like they don't have a choice. Especially if it comes through with this energy of like, they're stealing something or they're taking something that doesn't belong to them, but it's something that they need, right? That becomes a bit more complicated. It's just kind of coming through as being, Sagittarius, like, do what you can to protect yourself. At the same time, you can't control other people. And I feel like there is this energy here of just focusing on what you can do for yourself, is how it's feeling. Because I feel like there's something about like you're being asked to focus on your creations, like what you're creating, your creativity, your work in whatever way. It's like trying to focus on that. There may be something as feeling kind of like a distraction with the Seven of Swords. Something that's like distracting you from your work. Because it doesn't feel like it's related to your work. Well, it might be. Focus on what is in front of you, because I feel like this energy is almost feeling like periphery. It's in your peripheral vision. It's not, it's interesting because it's coming like when you're driving, right? Of course you have to have like your peripheral vision. There's something in your peripheral vision that's sort of like that you're becoming aware of. It's not direct on your path, but of course it's affecting you in some way. That's how it's feeling to me. Yeah, you have two sky cards. Sky, storm, moon, sky, wind, and earth. Okay. There is chaos on the horizon Be the calm in the eye of the storm. There is nothing you can do to avoid the difficulty that lies ahead. Trust that your path has been charted by the spirits, that the ancestors are holding you close, and that danger will not befall you. Turn to the light of your intuition to guide you through the darkness. Remember that safety is an illusion and will never be found outside of yourself. You must turn inward to find the security you crave. You will not incur any harm as long as you stay connected to your inner light. Now is the time for trust and a time for listening. The spirits will keep you safe from harm despite the challenges that are unfolding. Yeah, that's a tough card to pull. There's this energy here is like you're driving, right? Like let's say you're driving in a storm. That's how it's kind of coming through. You're driving in a storm. The storm is sort of all around you is how it's feeling, like in your periphery. It may have to do with another person, or if it's not a specific person, it could just be like the behavior of others that may be affecting you. I don't know in what way. That's just how it's feeling to me. Like other people are doing what is in their own best interest. I feel like there's something here though that's like that's somehow challenging you is how it's coming through. And it's kind of like keep your eyes on the road. Sagittarius. I almost called you Sagittarius. Gemini, keep your eyes on the road. Because it's kind of feeling like maybe there's a situation that you're dealing with that is kind of making you feel like flighty, like wanting to run, or there's like a fiery energy, or there's like heat, like pressure. Okay, I'm going to read this one. As a quantum creator, you are manifesting your life in every moment with everything you allow into your consciousness, as well as everything you put back out into the field. If you want to live a life of joy, beauty, inspiration, and abundance, then it's up to you to allow only things that are joyful, beautiful, inspirational, and abundant into your consciousness. Turn your attention towards the things that inspire you and make you feel alive. Do not waste your time on dreary media or negative conversations that bring you down. It is your responsibility to protect the sanctity of your mind and to make sure that you are feeding it beautiful things. Remember, what you put in your ears always goes into your heart, so keep your ears clean and listen only to beauty and greatness. Yeah. There's this energy, Gemini, for you of like keep your eyes on the road. It's like having your periphery blocked from whatever is going on around you, because it's like right now that it's challenging. You're being asked to protect, almost coming through with this energy of like a guard, like protect and guard your mind, your ears, your heart, and the sanctity of that, like protect it. That's how it's coming through, especially with all of this. Focus on what it is that you are trying to create. Right now, the outside energy around you is not favorable, and focusing on that will cloud your judgment or cloud your manifestations in some way. I feel like you are protected. There is this really strong sense of guardianship, right? Like something about your space is protected, or you're being asked to protect it in terms of like what it is you are allowing into your consciousness. So if like it could be things that you're listening to, or things that you're focused on, things that are drawing your attention. It's like focus on things that inspire is actually how it's coming through. Focus on things that inspire you. Pay close attention to your energy as well. So you have 2 sky cards to come out first, and then 2 water cards coming out next. So water, spring, moon, water, river, star. Okay, I'm gonna read this one first. Abundance isn't a destination or a BMW or even a bunch of commas in your bank balance. Abundance is a current of energy that you claim by knowing you are it and that you are worthy of receiving all that you already are. You, my dear, are standing upon the threshold of great love and blessings. You have worked hard and endured so much to have finally arrived at this spiritual doorway. In order to pass through it, you must know the truth of this current. You must know in your heart and in your soul and in your bones that abundance is the very fabric of this dimensional plane and that it is not possible for it to ever run dry. Only when you know and embody this fundamental universal truth can you then walk through this doorway of bounty and sustenance and receive what is rightfully yours. Yeah. Because you have the eight of Pentacles here, right? So focus on your abundance. There is a lot of abundance around you. It's part of the natural fabric of this world, is actually how it's coming through. Abundance is a natural state of being. Perhaps you're feeling separate. Well, are you Gemini? Or is it's kind of feeling like when you focus on this energy, this might make you feel like abundance is not available to you, or that like the resources aren't available because someone else is taking too much, like that kind of energy. So it's kind of like there may be something about removing a certain influence, like especially about like what it is that you're listening to. Removing a particular influence. If it's not a particular influence, it could also be just like like behaviors from the past or like mindsets from the past that prevent you from seeing abundance or feeling like you have enough. I'm going to read this card as well. The number 7 is coming through very strongly for you. Pay attention to that in terms of synchronicity. Yesterday I saw the 777 3 times in a single parking lot. Like it was actually 4 times. In one parking lot, I saw that a license, like 3 different license plates with 777 on it, and one of the building numbers was 777. I don't think that's ever happened before. Like it's kind of coming through as like very intense synchronicities for you that are showing you that you are on the right path. That's how it's feeling. Okay, anyways, I'm going to read this card. Water, spring, moon. There's a special essence that can only be found in the depths. By venturing beneath the surface and by braving the unknown that awaits us there, we cultivate an expanded sense of awareness that gives rise to new thoughts, fresh feelings, and profound understandings. These enhanced perceptions magnetize the essence of awakening, gifting us the ability to tap into new skills, extrasensory powers, and magic. You are emerging from the depths. Allow the energy of renewal to expand your perceptions and to heighten your sensitivities. You are awakening to your spiritual powers. New heights, greater expanses, and fresh magic are here for you now. Be still, move slowly, and allow yourself to integrate and to synthesize the divine treasures that you have gathered. It's very interesting, Gemini. I feel like if it's not like, well, you have lots of pentacles, right? That's how it's coming through. You have a lot of material things to work with. Like it feels very much like material realm, physical resources in whatever way that is for you in order to create something magical is how it's feeling. And keep focusing on that. It's like keep your focus on things that inspire you creatively is kind of how it's coming through for you. That's where the magic is. There's something else going on peripherally. It could be the world right now. It could be something else very personal to you, right? There could be a range of experience of what the Seven of Swords energy is. It's just not good. It makes you feel powerless is actually how it's coming through. Whatever the Seven of Swords energy is makes you feel powerless. It could be like things that are reflected in the world. It could be, again, relationship dynamics maybe that make you feel powerless, or like situations, whatever situation that is, that make you feel like you don't have a choice, or that you have to maintain a lot of strict boundaries, or like, and it's like, focus on what's inspiring to you. There's a lot of abundance around you right now. I feel like as well with this, that because this is coming through with like these two snakes, the snakes that are sort of intertwined here, it is coming through with Gemini energy just because of the duality aspect that I'm getting. Because I feel like your like Sagittarius energy is really important for you right now. Because it's also coming through with this energy of the 9th house, exploration. Okay, I'm gonna just skim what that is, the 9th house. Go exploring. Step out of your comfort zone and see what lies beyond the boundaries of your familiar bubble. Step into a new country. Try on a fresh attitude. Immerse yourself in an unusual body of knowledge or a spiritual philosophy you did not grow up with. It's hard to see your bubble, the lens for your experience, until you step outside of it. Look back at your socioeconomic milieu, family and friends, and education, and confront any unconscious assumptions that your people, your class, your culture is all there is. You are being charged to develop a truly diverse perspective and understand that real diversity in a person, ecosystem, or company builds resilience. Push your unique boundaries. If you are an urbane international traveler, you may be most stretched by small town life. Read the philosophy and spirituality from a far corner of the world. Once you've done all this work, share what you've learned with the world as a speaker, writer, traveler, teacher, or internet diva. Wake up the world. Yeah, widen your horizon, expand your world, explore in your mind, body, and soul. Teach what you know. The world is waiting for you. It's coming through very strongly with that energy. Maybe you're exploring some other horizon that has to do with Eight of Pentacles energy in some way, like your work. There's this, okay, like when I used to travel a lot, and one of my favorite things to do when I was traveling was go to the markets, like either farmers markets or like art markets, or like I had the opportunity to travel during Christmas time in December as well. So like Christmas markets were also really fun to go through because it's like a little bit of that place's culture and everyday life kind of energy. Maybe you are exploring something like that, like another culture. Or if it's not that, it could just be because of the Sagittarius energy, it could just be like another element of yourself. Perhaps you're exploring your own shadow, something that has to do with Queen of Wands. Maybe you're exploring some different like creative outlet or something like that. The energy here of fire is really coming through strongly for you as being like heat, inspiration, passion, creativity, drive is how it's feeling, actions. And it has to do with like keeping focus on something. Yeah. Yeah. That's what that Seven of Swords energy is causing. Hold on, I'm gonna just skim that one briefly. That one it talks about anger. Emotional flames are being stoked by past experiences that you were holding onto and projecting onto your now. It is time to let go of the past. These old traumas are bringing you down and blinding you to the seasonal changes that have occurred. You do not have to allow these negative emotions to wreak havoc upon your life. You do not have to continue to burden yourself with their weight and their memories and their scars. Let go of the pieces of your past that are no longer serving you. Let go of these old wounds. Be present and create new emotions from the present. Emotions that serve you and uplift you and add positive vibrations to the collective. Okay, yeah. You're being asked to let go of the past energies. It could be past resentments, past situations that have caused anger, past burdens as well. Because there's another fire energy here. Because it's kind of coming through as being like, there may have been a situation here with the Seven of Swords that caused a lot of anger for you, especially if it comes through as being like, you felt perhaps wrongly, like something like, you felt that you were wronged in this situation is how it's coming through. Again, with the anger, the temper, you feel like you were wronged. Maybe a situation that made you feel powerless is affecting how you're, it's maybe you're trying to let that go. It's how it's coming through, like trying to let go of something that made you angry or feel powerless. I feel like maybe there are situations around you at the moment that are triggering that past energy, like feeling powerless. Like driving in a storm, it's kind of like you got to focus all of your attention on just like keeping the car straight. Like that's how it's feeling. And I feel like part of that focus comes from it kind of feels like focusing on some aspect of like having a project to focus on, right? Like having something to keep your hands busy or to keep your mind engaged. It's like making sure that what you're allowing into your consciousness is something that inspires you. That's how it's feeling to me, like choosing what it is that you're focusing on as being something that inspires you, that makes you feel good about yourself, that makes you feel like, positive and like that you have an impact and that you're creating things and that you're connected to abundance. It may also be because it's kind of coming through. I was getting this download about like when we experience pain, for example, that pain becomes the reason why we seek out comfort, right? Like, so you find things that make you feel better. It's kind of coming through like that, where it's like maybe you're seeking something that will make you feel better. And that becomes something that's like either like really, really beneficial to you. Like it's kind of feeling like heat, like positive heat. Because this is really negative heat, negative fire, destructive fire. That might be a past energy that you're being asked to let go and heal. Like when fire is destructive, when fire causes arguments or people doing bad things, for lack of a better way of phrasing that. Like it's kind of coming through as being like fire and ego clashing. That's what this energy is coming through as. When fire and ego clash, I feel like what you're being asked to do, Gemini, is focus on fire that is really positive and creative. Fire that actually brings comfort and warmth. Yeah. Yeah, this card is another one of those destructive fire energies. And then you have these two. Water, river, moon, land, cave, and sun. I feel like, so this card talks about like gaining clarity about something. And this card talks about change. Okay. There is a challenge ahead, Gemini. That's how it's coming through. There is some sort of challenge ahead. It will pass, is how it's feeling. What's being reflected back to you at this time is not, how do I phrase this? It's not like, it's in your periphery, meaning it's not your experience necessarily. It feels like it's something environmental that's passing through, like a storm. I feel like it's not a reflection of your internal space at the moment. That's how it's feeling to me. But it's a period of change that perhaps is happening on a bigger scale. It's a period of change, and there's discomfort in that. And I feel like there's this reminder for you, Gemini, of like, how are you going to get through this? And it's coming through as being like, by focusing on something that is within your control, that's your internal process, and also like the things that you're creating, the things that you are allowing into your consciousness, that is all within your control. This challenge, whatever it is, may be challenging your trust, is how it's coming through. Yeah, okay. I'm going to read this card. Land, cave, sun. It says, you are entering a time of illumination. Light pierces the deepest, darkest caverns of your vessel, shining the glow of truth upon areas of your life that once eluded you. There are fewer places for falsehoods to hide, and you are able to see clearer than you had previously been able to. Many illusions have been brought to light. There is still plenty more to demystify, but the task will be easier now that your sight has been sharpened. While the heat and intensity of this light can bring uneasiness, take comfort in the clarity you are gathering and in the quantum leaps you are making in your quest for self-knowledge. Enjoy the gift of this light. It marks a triumph in your soul's journey. Yeah. There's something here, Gemini. I feel like this is ahead for you, or this is part of like the quote unquote challenge that you may be dealing with in the future, is that there's this energy here around you, it feels like, of intense heat. As I was saying with the tempered glass, like a process where there's like perhaps intense heat, a lot of pressure on you, or something like that, which is coming through as being like, it's actually bringing clarity about something. It's helping to demystify illusions. And I feel like it is going to be a process where you are coming out strengthened at the end of it, where it's like harder to break, right? It's much, much stronger than without this process. Perhaps you've already gone through this, Gemini. I don't know. Maybe you're nearing the end of it. There was a process, perhaps there was a process. It is kind of coming through as past tense for you, where there was a process where you had to undergo intense heat or pressure in order to transform you into the tempered glass. Much stronger. You're coming out much stronger at the end of this process. Your clarity and your vision have been sharpened as well. Yeah. Very interesting. This is at the middle. This, Okay, I'm going to read this one. The Earth's ecosystem is extremely intelligent in its design. Every animal that exists on this planet is here for a very specific, very necessary reason. It is the same with the plants and the insects and the minerals of all of it. This means that when we harm the animals, we harm ourselves and we harm our planet and we harm all the life it holds. What are you doing to help balance the ecosystem? Are you inadvertently supporting factory farming and industrialized meat production with the foods you eat and the restaurants you frequent? Are you still consuming single-use plastics? Do you recycle, reuse, replant, and compost? Do you mend your holy socks, or do you throw them away and go to your local corporate superstore to buy new ones that were made at a factory in China? What are you doing to balance the scale so that every being on the planet can thrive in harmony? Your actions really do matter, every one of them. Yeah, okay. Because it's kind of feeling like that there's, especially with this panther in the middle here, there's something about like your power, Gemini, that I feel like where there may be something in the world right now, perhaps in your personal life, maybe that is making you feel powerless in some way. And I feel like part of this challenge is about like showing you how much power you hold, and even like simple actions that you can do is how it's feeling. Like even something like, I don't know, you may not feel that it's important. It's how it's feeling. You may not feel that it's having an impact. Maybe you feel that like, you know, what does it matter? And the answer is that it does. It really does. There's something about like if you're not feeling clear on what that is, you're going to be getting more clarity about a situation, about how important your actions really are to not just yourself, but to the greater collective. I feel like there's a challenge right now, though, that is making you question whether or not your actions actually matter. And of course they do. Of course they do. Because this card kind of comes through with this energy, a bit of like a butterfly effect, right? Like small actions have very large lasting impacts. So I feel like you're being asked to focus on that, Gemini. Like small actions do matter. And I feel like your focus is wanting to come through as being like small things that you can do to make your experience better for yourself, but also for others, and also for the world and for the collective and for your family and friends. Like small things like that can help to uplift and inspire is how it's coming through. Because right now there are things that are happening perhaps that are just like make you lose faith. Challenges that make you lose faith, or that like really challenge your trust in what it is that you're doing or what it is that you love, or that kind of thing. Okay, Gemini, your actions matter. I'm just gonna close it with that. So if this reading resonated with you, please like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much for sharing your energy with me, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.